If you want to trace an image in GIMP and turn a photo into clean line art, this tutorial will walk you through the entire process step by step. This is a really useful technique if you want to create outlines for illustrations, make coloring pages, build vector-style artwork, or simply trace over a reference image with more control and precision. And if you find this video helpful, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss more easy GIMP tutorials. Let's jump in. First, open GIMP and load the image you want to trace. Once your photo is open, head over to the Layers panel and select the original photo layer. To make tracing easier, lower the opacity slider to around 50%. This fades the image just enough so you can clearly see your tracing work on top without losing the subject underneath. Now, it's time to create a separate tracing layer. At the bottom of the Layers panel, click the Create a New Layer icon. In the New Layer settings, name it Line Art so it stays organized, and make sure the Fill With option is set to Transparency. This is important because you want the tracing layer to stay empty except for the lines you draw. Once that's set, click OK. Now you have a clean workspace for your outline. Next, we're going to trace the image shape using GIMP's Paths tool. You can press the B key on your keyboard to activate it quickly. The Paths tool looks like a fountain pen nib, and it's one of the best tools for creating smooth, controlled outlines. Instead of freehand drawing, you'll place anchor points along the edges of your subject. Start by clicking along the outline of your faded image to drop straight anchor points. Work slowly and carefully, placing points at important edges and corners. If your subject has curves, don't worry. You can create smooth bends by clicking and dragging when you place a new point. That will pull out handle lines, which let you shape the curve so it matches the contour of the image much more naturally. Take your time here, because cleaner anchor points usually mean cleaner line art. If a line looks too sharp or awkward, adjust the handles until the curve flows the way you want. This is where tracing in GIMP becomes really powerful, because you can control every part of the shape instead of relying on shaky freehand strokes. Keep working around the image until you've traced the entire outer shape or the section you want to ink. When you get back to the starting point, hold the Control key and click your very first anchor point to close the path neatly. Closing the shape makes sure your tracing loop is complete and ready to be stroked. Now that the path is finished, it's time to turn that path into visible line art. First, click the foreground color box in the toolbox and choose the color you want for your outline. Black is usually the classic choice for clean line art, but you can choose any color that fits your project. After that, look over to the Tool Options panel and scroll to the very bottom until you see the Stroke Path button. Click it, and a settings window will appear. Choose Stroke Line and make sure solid color is selected. Then set your line width in pixels. For most clean tracing work, something between 3 and 6 pixels is a great starting point, but you can adjust it depending on the size and style of your image. Once everything looks right, click the Stroke button. GIMP will instantly draw your trace path onto the line art layer, giving you a crisp outline based on the image you followed. This is one of the easiest ways to create polished line art from a photo without manually drawing every stroke. If you want to make the result even better, you can continue tracing smaller details on the same layer or create additional layers for different parts of the image. That gives you more flexibility if you want to color the artwork later or separate different elements for editing, and that's it. You've now learned how to trace an image in GIMP using a faded photo layer, a clean tracing layer, the Paths tool, and the Stroke Path feature to create neat line art. This is a simple but powerful workflow, and once you practice it a few times, it becomes much faster and easier. If this tutorial helped you out, please give it a like, subscribe for more GIMP tips, and share it with someone who wants to learn digital tracing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.